Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Orpha's Fascinations. Today, I'm going to invite you to come along with me and take a stroll at the beautiful Sunken Gardens along 4th Street in downtown Saint Petersburg, Florida. The garden holds a very special place in my heart, and same way with my husband, because in 1995 June 11 we celebrated our wedding vows. We had our renewal of vows in the garden, and it was in the middle of June. And here in Florida, in the summers, we always get the rains, especially in the afternoons. So the wedding was at 3 p.m. When I left the house, it was bright and sunny. And as the wedding was started around 3 p.m., there was this cloud hovering over the garden, and it was a dark cloud. And we started hearing all the macaws. At that time they have lots of birds in the garden, and the wind started blowing. Well, we got rained on in the middle of the ceremony, and when the rain poured, our guests, there's about 100 or more guests at the wedding, and everyone was scampering for shelter. So it happened when we had the court ceremony. It's a traditional part of wedding ceremonies in the Philippines, which the court symbolizes love and unity. So we were binded together, and we cannot run away freely to seek for shelter. As I look back, it was so funny, but at the time I was really disheartened. I was in pretty much in tears to see the wedding went that way, but it's really fun. So from then we've been visiting the garden, and every time there's always beauty we see, even little creatures around that you can uh, take pleasures on. I capture them in the camera, and it houses tropical plants from all over the world. And what I love in the garden is really the lush and beauty of it, from the palm trees. Over the 25 or more years we've been going back and forth in the garden, now you'll see how the bamboos had grown, and it's so shady there. The palm trees are really very tall now, and it's just so peaceful. If you are someone looking for peace of mind, this is the place, because all around, not only the greens, you will see different colors of plants. And in many occasions when I go, there's lots of plants or flowers blooming. And depending on the time of the year you go, some flowers you may not see in the summer, and when you go in the winter or fall time, you will see some other plants blooming. Now, they had flamingos in the garden, and their flock had grown. At one point, there were only about a couple of flamingos that were left, and they've been there since the 1950s. And lately, they added about 20 to the flock, and it's wonderful to watch them. They're very colorful. And in the garden, as you walk along, it's not a very big walk because it's only 4 acres, so the walk may only take you an hour to two, depending on how much time you spend capturing the flowers or sitting down to relax and just meditate for yourself. And all around, you will also see cascading falls, lots of areas where they have different falls, and as the water trickles from these falls, it creates that soothing sound that, to me, it's so relaxing and so peaceful. Around the garden there are also picnic tables where you can sit, relax, just enjoy. And you could also bring some food to enjoy and have a little picnic. Now, to get to the garden, you have, of course, to pay for the entrance fee, and it's not so expensive. And it's also very close to other attractions like the Great Exploration, where it's really good for children's imagination. And there's also restaurants around, like the Carabas, and there's even an ice cream place and a bakery just sitting in the same area. Now, the garden also holds lots of events like our weddings, parties, but you could just check on them because with the pandemic, of course, there's some changes with events and how many they could accommodate in one sitting. So I always support gardens because to me, the beauty of God's creation is really there. And that to me is where I connect to our Maker, our Creator, and being His masterpiece. I know that I'm part of that God's creation, but we were made so special. Anyway, so when I go to these gardens, I always check Groupons for discount. You can do that. Actually, I got a membership for the year, and with a Groupon, I got it for $50. You normally would pay about over 100. There's also a koi pond, and it's just lovely to watch the koi. So watch this place or come and visit the place because it's just wonderful. And now here, this tent here, that's where our wedding was done actually, the actual ceremony. But they pitch up a tent now for events, and there's another long lawn that you could have your event or wedding event or whatever party you may want to have it done at the gardens. Now, the garden has really offered a lot of memories for my family. Now, you could see in some of the slides that my children are with me, Kyle and Sarah, and Sarah's friend Josh, and Kyle, who shares my love for nature, gardening, and the flowers, the plants, the bees, and all that, doesn't mind coming with me as I visit the garden once in a while. He just enjoys nature. So remember that when Sarah, our daughter, celebrated her fourth birthday, we had it done at Sunken Gardens. And at the time, they have the alligator show. They also have some chicken to pet and other animals. And it was a great party for the kids, and I'm sure they still hold some memories of that. So I'm going to share with you some historical facts about the garden, and I obtained this information from the guide map and information they give to you as you enter the garden in a brochure. And it just says Sunken Gardens, a botanical experience. So I'm going to read to you, and credit to whoever wrote this. Now, Sunken Gardens has been a landmark in Saint Petersburg since 1935. It was officially opened and its first name was Turner Sunken Gardens. In 1903, there was a gentleman called George Turner Sr. who purchased this 4-acre property. He was a plumber and he was an avid gardener. So, what he did in this property, he drained a shallow lake which had filled an ancient sinkhole and dropped 15 feet below street level to provide a rich soil to grow fruits and exotic plants from all over the world. So in 1924, his amazing garden became an attraction to visitors. At that time, they were only paying 25 cents for a stroll through the beautiful, lush gardens. He also had some tropical fruits in the garden. You could still see some of this, the papaya, citrus. I also see carambola or the star fruit, mangoes, and other exotic plants that were brought in the gardens to this subtropical area. Now, the grove heaters were brought in to heat the magnificent royal palms and bougainvilleas and other cold-sensitive tropical plants during the winter. The garden became world renowned for its unique collections of plants and colorful blooms, and by 1950s, the exotic wildlife was added to the growing botanical attraction. So, when I started visiting this garden in the late 80s into the early 90s, there were a lot of birds, the macaws, and there were also some turtles and other animals. So, as the roadside attraction grew, the world's largest gift shop was also opened in 1967 in what is now the restored entrance to the gardens. I remember there was that gift shop. The building and entrance to Sunken Gardens were originally built in 1926 and have been restored to their former beauty. By 1998, the Sunken Gardens was designated a local historic landmark, and in 1999, the city of Saint Petersburg, Florida, purchased the property. Now, after several years of restoration, visitors can again enjoy the beauty that began 100 years ago. And Sunken Gardens has come full circle from a vibrant attraction that was one of Florida's oldest family owned roadside attraction to a restored botanical garden. And many of the original plants are still here to enjoy, and the vision that was created continues to provide a tranquil oasis in the middle of a bustling city. And the garden is now preserved for the future generations through the interest of the community, and is now maintained by the City of Saint Petersburg Downtown Enterprise Facilities Department. Very nice of these people to really take interest in restoring and sustaining this beautiful garden for our generations to come. Now, they offer different programs. They have educational workshops, special events, and tours that are available year round to show the wonderful diversity of nature and the joy of gardening. So you could always call Sunken Gardens 727-551-3102. The gift shop is also in the gardens. As you enter, there is that beautiful gift shop. So I always love gift shops because sometimes you can get some of the unique things that you cannot find in any other stores. So here, just enjoy the little clips of videos that I took of the cascading waterfalls. I always take inspiration from nature, and when my thoughts are triggered, it becomes words. And so here's a poem I wrote entitled, I Hear You, Lord. Heaven's call comes through the wind when it brushes through the bamboos. Swiftly they sway with the blowing wind, pliantly and gracefully as music echoes. I hear your voice, Lord, from the raindrops, how gently it sprinkles the budding flowers. The rhythm it creates make my heart drops. I must listen, Lord, to give you my answers. The chirping birds I hear, they bring joy to me. I laughed at the sight when the egret pecks. Your voice I hear from the clattering storks. A smile I paint on my face to hear your voice. I hear you, Lord, Do I ever listen to your voice? The bubbling brooks speak about your love. I hear the soothing sound from the waterfalls. They whisper your love. To listen is a choice. Lord, should I listen when I hear your voice? Do I have a choice to run from your still voice? You whisper love and hope when I have no voice. There is no other way but listen to your soft voice. Well, thank you for watching my video. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and remember, a little bit of love goes a long way. Goodbye.